Hello and welcome to my channel. This is another in my Thanksgiving 2017 card series. This card design features a jewel brad, some pattern paper, and an embossing folder. This simple layout can be replicated for whatever occasion that you had, and I hope that you will try this yourself. Let me move this out of the way and show you the materials that I used to make this card. The papers that I need today is a card base cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I need a panel cut 5 by 3 3/4, another panel cut 5.25 by 4, a black panel cut 5.25 by 4, a very small square, this is 1.25 inch, and again I'm using my stitch squares leftovers from an earlier card design, and this is 1.5 inch square. If you don't have this, of course, you can just grab a 1.5 inch square piece of paper. I need a strip of burgundy cardstock. This is 1/2 inch by about 4.5. And remember these guys? This is the final of the leaves that I got 50 in a pack at the dollar store. This is the very last one. So I really got my money's worth out of those leaves. The inks I'm using today is going to be Bamboo Leaves by Memento and Potter's Clay, Versafine Onyx Black, and I'm also going to be using the Hero Arts Red Royal Shadow Ink. The shadow inks, they go down sometimes a little splotchy, but after they start to dry, the color blends out. This is a really good ink. However, you have to be mindful that when you use this on your photopolymer, it's going to stain your photopolymer. It doesn't harm it by staining it. Just clean it as good as you can and don't worry about it. I'm also going to be using black and white baker's twine and a red jeweled brad. The stamps I'm using today is Wonderful Stamp & Cut by Hero Arts and Fall Holidays by Stampabilities. I'm also going to be using the Quatrefoil embossing folder by Paper Studios, some rhinestones, and some bows. So let me clear this out of the way and then show you how to make this card design. Also, I forgot to mention I have a piece of pattern paper which is 4.5 by 1.5. The first step I need to do is to emboss the smaller of the white panels. So I'm going to run this on my Big Shot machine and I'll be right back. Okay, and there we have the embossed piece. Now I'm going to take and use another little tool called the Stampamajig. Let me set this out of the way. And this is a stamp positioner tool. It has two pieces. One is the handle and one is the film. It is matte on one side and shiny on the other. So I'm turning it shiny side up and I'm putting it in place on my craft area, and I'm going to tuck the handle right in the corner of the film, and I'm going to stamp the Happy Thanksgiving onto the film. So just make sure it doesn't move, and straight down and straight up. And I didn't get a good impression, so let me do that again. Straight down and straight up, but press it hard enough. There, that's better. Okay, so now I have a placement of where this wooden stamp is going to stamp. So I'm bringing in my little piece of paper here, and the reason I'm using the Stampamajig is because this piece of paper is so small, and I'm going to print it on a diagonal. So I want to be sure that I get it in the center. So I'm using my lines on my grit mat, and I'm putting the paper where I need it to be, and I'm bringing in the film and lining it up where I need it to be. And now holding the paper and the film so it doesn't move, I'm bringing the arm of the thingamajig back, and I'm pressing really hard to hold that white paper down. Move the film out of the way. Ink this up and straight down and straight up. Easy as that. Okay. Now set that aside, and I'm going to move on to the inside of the card. In order to do that, I'm going to use my Misty, which is another positioning tool. And I have already put the stamps that I need in place onto the door. Let me move this up a little bit. So taking my white panel, and this is going to be a landscape card. I have to be sure that I put this paper in here properly, because I keep making that mistake. So let's make sure. Yep, that's landscape. Is it? Yes. Now this is not going to print on my paper, but I am going to be just a little bit cautious and take it out temporarily, because I don't want to have that stained stamp staining up my paper. Okay. So I'm going to, whoops, where's my Versafine? Not you, Tuxedo Black. I'm going to stamp this with my Versafine so I can get a nice crisp black. This is the sentiment and the outline of the word wonderful. And I've just got ink on my magnet. It'll be fine. And that didn't stamp very well, so we're going to do that again. Make sure it didn't move. Things are a little hectic for me today, aren't they? Okay. Ooh. No, you don't have vertigo. That's off, so let's do that again. There, that's better. Alright, clean this up. Huge mess. Now I'm going to slide this up, and I'm going to take this up because I think it's a little damp. This video is going to be a little bit longer because I'm having a few issues here and there. Well, since I lifted it up, I'm going to bring it so I can see it closer. So you just put this stamp, looking right through it, and line it up right where the other words have printed. Transfer it to the door, and I'm grabbing my red royal. Stamp this up. You may notice that the stamp was a little bit stained, but that's fine. It doesn't hurt it. And there we go. Right in the center. I'll slide this white under here so you can see it. See, it looks like it's red, but it's not. I've cleaned it. Excuse me. Okay, let's move this aside. And I have a couple of leaves that I'm going to stamp here. Here's a stamp. The maple leaf, I'm going to stamp in the potter's clay. One there and one there. And the leaf spray I'm going to do in the bamboo leaves. Alright. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and let the music run because everything else is simple assembly and it's very easy. The only tricky part will be to get this brad in place. And in order to do that, I need to grab my piercing mat. This will keep me from making holes in my work surface, and my piercing tool. So I'm going to pierce a hole through the leaf and the paper and the mat all at the same time, and then feed the brad through. So that being said, I'm going to start assembling the card. Okay, that's the finished card, and it was very quick and very simple, as I promised. And I didn't explain it beforehand, but the way to get the baker's twine onto the brad is to push the brad almost until it's completely to the paper, and then when the baker's twine around the spools of the brad, put it in place, fill it with a little bit, then push it all the way through, and the brad will hold the twine in place. You don't have to worry about tying bows and all that stuff. So I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I know it was a little bit clunky and I had a couple of issues. I'm I don't know what to say. Not having a good day on my logic circuits today, but hang in there with me. Please subscribe to my channel. I would like to thank everyone for watching this video. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music that he provides for my channel. And I hope you will try this card yourself. And this layout is very easy to replicate. I think it would make a very good birthday card, thinking of you card. The possibilities are endless. Thanks for watching, and have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Take care.